I'm no longer in the saddle, but I'm still in the race.
Fáilte Arash. A win for jockey Roger Loughran at the Cheltenham Festival would be a heart-warming tale. The Kildare man has a couple of lively chances at the meeting, as Dave Keena found out.
Roger, the Cheltenham Festival 2017, 2 rides this year. Peregrine Run, his options in the Coral Cup and the Albert Bartlett, and Acapella Bourgeois in the RSA Chase. We'll start with Peregrine Run first of all, trained by Peter Fahey, a good friend of yours. How did you come to ride the horse, and can you talk to me about his rate of improvement this year?
Yeah, sure, it's great to be going with 2 rides like that, like, you know, and Peregrine, sure, he's a special horse to me now, and I ended up riding him over hurdles in Navan, and I rode him into Prairie, I think, and he seemed to come to form at Handin, and Peter left me on him in the north, and he scooted in there and he went to Gorndon, and he nearly ran away with me and he won in Gornd, you know, and he went to Limerick then. There was a step up again, a listed hurdle, and he won snug there, so he took his chance in and sent him to Cheltenham, and it paid off. You know, it was a great day. He gave me one of the best days of my career.
And that was your first winner at Cheltenham, and I remember just as you passed the line, you waved your whip in the air, punched the air. That must have been a very special moment for you to ride a winner at Cheltenham.
Yes, it was, yeah. I think I'd had a roar of me come by the line. I'd say they heard me at home. And then when I was coming down, I could see the big screen, and it was just magic for Peter and Bear and the lads that owned the horse and everything, like, you know. But there's a lot of people that hasn't ridden the winner at Cheltenham. That'd be the festival in November or anything, so just great. A long time trying now, mind you, but so we got that. You know, and I've sat in the horse since, and he's in good order. You know, he seems to be flying at home. Peter's happy with him. You know, it's all systems go.
And Roger, your second big ride at Cheltenham is Acapella Bourgeois. I was very, very impressed with him when he won at Navan. Some of the jockeys came in for some flack, but I think it was the case that they could not lie up with him.
I remember jumping the ditch at the top of the hill, and I had a sneaky look between my legs. And I said, geez, I didn't go fast, you know, and so I took a pull turning in, and I met the third last in a great stride. And I wouldn't look around me. I didn't want to look around me because I knew I was absolutely cantering, and I jumped the second last and then I had a look as well. But I couldn't believe how far I was in front going, how easy I was doing it.
How special is it for you to be going to Cheltenham with a genuine contender in one of the major races over there?
Oh, without a doubt, Dave, it's special. Like, it's what every jockey dreams of. And to be going like Lara and their syndicate there, loads of men are loyal to the yard, even since Desi passed. And to be getting a horse like this, Sandra bought this horse for the lads, in fairness.
Yeah, well, Roger is a huge part of this yard. You know, he's in here every day. He knows the horses like the back of his hand. And this particular horse, when he came from France, when we bought him first, he was very difficult. He was very hard to ride, and Roger is the person who's made this horse. You know, they built up a trust together, and looking at them going around there in Navan, it was poetry in motion, really. You know, it's just the confidence Roger has in the horse, and the horse has the confidence in Roger, and it just works. And to have a horse like him, you need one horse. You know, you really do. A flag bearer for the yard, and he's our flag bearer.
And Roger, we all recall that famous race at Leopardstown in 2003. It was a Grade 1 2-mile chase at the Christmas Festival at Leopardstown. You mistook the winning post, ended up finishing third. And from your perspective, would it be a case of exercising the ghosts of 2003 to win or to be competitive at the 2017 Cheltenham Festival?
Yeah, of course, sure. What happened in Leopardstown back in 2003, sure, I was never heard tell of before. And then I went from that to everyone knowing me for the wrong reasons. And in fairness, like that day, Lord Mercy and Desi, like, he came in and put his arm around me and just said, look, it'll be all right. And from that day to this, that was it. And look, of course I could have went the other way. It was only the horse I had behind me at the time, and the owners of Central House and the owners that was here at the time backed me up. To be going back to Cheltenham now with a chance, like, we're going there to win, same as Peter's horse, we're going there to win, nothing else. Unless if we didn't think we could win, we wouldn't be going there. But look, it's great, and I'm just glad to have the two of them.
Roger, I don't think anyone would begrudge you winning one of those big races at Cheltenham. I hope everything works out well, and thanks for talking to us, and the best of luck over there.
Thank you, sure. Please God I will.
Yeah, I think the Irish challenge at Cheltenham this year is going to be strong. While we are missing some of the standard bearers from previous seasons like Faugheen and Annie Parr, we still have a really, really strong team going. And Willie Mullins has 40 runners, which is an unbelievable team to be heading with. He's got of the 14 Grade 1 races at Cheltenham, he's got 6 of the anti-post favourites. So that's massive. Gordon Elliott has got around about 30 horses going over, headed up by Death Duty, who's been favoured for the Albert Bartlett Hurdle for a while. Henry de Bromhead has a really strong team. He's got Champagne West in the Gold Cup, Petit Mouchoir in the Champion Hurdle, Monaghan probably in the Albert Bartlett Hurdle. So that's a really strong team. Jessica Harrington, strong again with Sizen John and Jeski. Noel Meade has Disco going probably for the JLT. Mouse Morris has Alpha des Obeaux for the RSA Chase. So there's strength in depth there. Obviously Willie Mullins and Gordon Elliott, they've got the strength in depth, and they've got really, really talented horses. But some of the other trainers also, like Pat Kelly's got 2 high profile handicaps in the horses in the handicaps, Maldini and Presenting Percy. So there's strength there in depth, and it could be a good year for the Irish.
In the William Hill top trainer market, Willie Mullins is the 8-13 favourite to win the award for a 5th consecutive season, whilst Nicky Henderson is next best at 11-4, and Gordon Elliott, who also has a powerful team lined up for the festival this season, could well be value at 9-2. Unsurprisingly, Ruby Walsh is 1-2 to be the leading rider at the festival for an incredible 9th time in the past 10 seasons, whilst Brian Cooper and Noel Feely are next best in that market at 8-1. JP McManus, who has a leading fancy for many of the races in this year's festival, is the 1-4 favourite to be the leading owner.
A recent report has shown that Irish fans make up a huge part of the overall attendance at the Cheltenham Festival and spend a lot of money in the process. Let's take a closer look at the figures. Since the middle of the last century, the Irish have played a significant role in the ongoing success of the Cheltenham National Hunt Racing Festival. But for the first time, Irish participation at the festival has actually been quantified. A recent impact analysis by the University of Gloucestershire has shown that in 2016, an average of 14,343 people travelled over from Ireland to attend the festival each day, and 30% of all ticket sales were made to people with Irish postal addresses. Add in the Irish attending the festival who currently reside in the UK, and it brings the Irish presence to approximately half the overall attendance. In 2016, Irish people travelling to the festival spent a total of €22.3 million. The average individual spend on travel and tickets for the festival is €508, accommodation €419, food and drink €374, and entertainment, including bets, coming in at €556. Bringing the total average spend to just under £2,000.
We know it is one of those great sort of Anglo-Irish competitions, and as we see particularly on the racecourse itself, but to actually see the Irish audience and to see the increase in the Irish audience since we took the figures back to 2010, and we've seen a massive leap in our overall attendance, but that has been exactly mirrored by the increase in Irish coming over, which is a little over 22% increase over the 6-year period.
The Cheltenham Festival also has a significant economic impact on this side of the Irish Sea.
The other impact, which is probably not quantified today, is the impact at home of the Cheltenham Festival, because I know a lot of people take time off work, a lot of people, will sit down and watch the racing, have a bet, maybe get together with a few friends for a game of golf in the morning and watch the racing in the afternoon. So it's a huge impact. And of course, success breeds success, so we've had a lot of success there recently. That's very important for the breeders, it's very important for the trainers. It can be a career-defining moment for a trainer or a jockey. For a breeder, if they breed a winner at Cheltenham, it increases the value of their mares, the subsequent progeny of that mare that they have to sell. So it's very, very important, from a business point of view, and sure, look, it's great fun as well.
For trainers, the Cheltenham Festival brings a lot of pressure.
Obviously, everybody wants to go there, and to be honest, you need to bring a good horse there, because there's a great excitement about bringing a horse to Cheltenham, and there's great excitement in having a runner, but there's also an awful backdrop if it doesn't run well, and it's a lonely place to be when a horse runs bad. If he runs a race and he runs a decent race and runs well, that can be happy. But if he runs bad and he runs down the field or falls or finishes a long way down, it's very disappointing, and the build-up sort of bottoms out very quick.
The Cheltenham Festival has provided Irish people with great entertainment and enjoyment down through the generations, and is well set to do so for generations to come.
The one that appeals to me most is Sizing John in the Timmickle Gold Cup on the Friday. Historically, if you look at the best Gold Cup winners, they had a lot of class over 2 miles, and this fella had.
I think someday of Jessica Harrington's in the bumper has a great chance. Jessie wouldn't usually target the bumper, but she has won it before at Cork All-Star about 10 years ago. This horse impressed me when he won at Leopardstown in February, coming back off 10 months off.
Arthur Moore's Dandridge in the Grand Annual, the last race of the meeting, second of the race last year, second at Aintree as well. Better the ground, the better he liked it, and I think he's got a big chance.
The best chance is Sizing Cadelco in the Brown Advisory handicap chase. His form at Ascot's very strong with Top Notch, only been a couple of lanes by him, and he gets in off of 140, so hopefully sneaking the bottom and good big run from him.
The horse I like for Cheltenham this year is the Storyteller, one of Gordon Elliott's. Gordon Elliott really wants to win the Martin Pipe Conditional Hurdle. I think this is the horse that can get him to do it. The galloping track, the trip, everything looks good.
My nut for Cheltenham this year is a horse called Presenting Percy in the Pertemps Handicap Hurdle Final. There's been a fair bit of talk about him lately because I know a lot of people, including his connections, feel he's been harshly treated by the handicapper, but I think he might be progressive enough to defy the extra weight that's been added onto him in Britain.
So that's our look ahead to the 2017 Cheltenham Festival. The action gets underway at 1:30 on Tuesday with the Sky Bet Supreme Novices Hurdle. Gunari Gugyal Liv, August Buint Tanavos, Slán go Fóil.
Just hold